The complaint came from a village in western Uganda in September 2015 and would, for the first time, put before the inspection panel the issue of gender-based violence in a World Bank finance project. The allegations regarding the transport sector development project were serious, numerous, and wide-ranging.
During the construction of the Kamwenge-Fort Portal Road around 2014 there, a lot of issues emerged from the community. There are cases of sexual abuse of young children, and that led many of them to drop out of school. Others became pregnant, others were infected with HIV and AIDS. And as a result of that, there was a wide outcry in the community.
We wrote to the inspection panel, Washington, D.C., through Joy for Children, and our message was delivered.
The Uganda case was the first time that the bank was confronting gender-based violence and girls, minors, that have been raped by people working for the project. So that was very shocking to everybody.
The issues were so serious that the World Bank suspended funding for the project in October 2015 and canceled it 2 months later. In January 2016, the bank's board of executive directors gave the panel approval to investigate the project. In determining whether to recommend an investigation to the board, a panel team had visited the affected communities. What they observed left a vivid impression.
Then we met with girls who were the victims of gender-based violence because the construction company brought in workers from other parts of Uganda. It's a very poor community, and when the workers come in with some money, the girls just basically go along. So many pregnant girls, like at the age of 13, 14, we met, who had to leave school. It was very sad.
The panel's investigation report confirmed the claims made in the complaint and identified a substantial number of instances where the World Bank had not complied with its own policies and procedures. That included inadequately assessing and mitigating the impact of an influx of workers from outside the community and other risks related to gender-based violence.
Most of the complainants, most of the people who suffered were underage girls. And it pointed to the fact that many of the people that the bank tries to help are in fact very vulnerable. The bank is supposed to improve their lives. But in this particular case, I think we have to admit that the bank failed. But having said that, I think what I found particularly encouraging was the institution's response at the various levels after the investigation.
The inspection panel's investigation identified multiple failures, including cases of gender-based violence. The panel helped lead to the launch of the Global Gender-Based Violence Task Force, which advises us on best practices to prevent gender-based violence.
In addition to creating the task force, the World Bank issued a report on institutional lessons learned, as well as a guidance note for staff on how to deal with the temporary influx of workers as a result of bank-supported projects. A plan developed by bank management put in place a wide variety of actions to be taken both by the bank and by the government of Uganda in response to the panel's findings. Vocational training was offered in a variety of income-generating activities, and startup kits were provided for enterprises such as tailoring and hairdressing. These activities were carried out through the NGO Building Resources Across Communities, or BRAC.
Nyonka nkanye nkomweje ubayambire ndatusima chebale munonga icyanyire nihare ukubazira nitubazira nabana bitu tibakabona kugira ngo inkeza mate turazibona hatiya.
The issue of gender-based violence came before the panel a second time in a 2017 case involving another roads project, this time in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And given the bank's increasing work in fragile countries facing conflict and violence, the issue may well come up again. But in Uganda, the inspection panel case and the World Bank's response to it brought redress to the community and prompted actions to address the risks of gender-based violence in projects more broadly.
I'm very grateful, first to the inspection panel, but also the bank, because these processes went hand in hand. The inspection panel was doing its work, but also the management doing its response.
We are already a success story. All the issues that were negatively impacting on the society that we raised have been totally addressed. It became an eye-opener to government institutions. Immediately the inspection panel came on ground, they started doing their work, their role. So we are happy. To me, it's really a success story.